live around the world with that spa girl, Candy. It's time for Spa Brunch, whisking you to favorite treats and stealing their secrets for your life. Where's that spa girl chilling today? Candy?
Hey y'all, welcome to Spa Brunch, where we invite you to tune in and tune out with a virtual spa break every week. Today, I'm broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio, instead of our normal California. I'm Candy Holladay, in case you're wondering. I'm your host, and I'm the founder of Art of the Spa, a resource for decorating and living ideas to help you bring a bit of spa home every day. Now this week, instead of going to a single spa, we're going to continue our In Search of the Spa Life series from the ISPA, which is the International Spa Association Conference. And as you might recall in part 1, where we talked about skincare trends, I promised there were going to be some other episodes focusing on some of the other types of really cool and great products that we found there. And this week, I want to talk to you guys about aromatherapy. It was unbelievable. I mean, as all you spa brunchers know, I'm always talking about how fragrance is such an important part of creating a relaxing or rejuvenating, energizing, whatever you're trying to achieve with your spa at home or spa experience. Fragrance is so important, and I'm always shocked. You know, a lot of times I'll go to a spa and they won't be using any kind of fragrance, you know, even in certain areas like the locker rooms. I'm just always shocked. I don't know, I guess because I surround myself with it so much. So that's a tip for all you spa listeners out there. Be sure that you're incorporating fragrance, and it'll really enhance and make the visit more memorable for your guests. But at ISPA, you know, when you walked into the conference, obviously it just smelled. I mean, smelled bad, but smelled amazing. There are so many, you know, the products, skincare products, candles, things that were there that, you know, of course, it was a mingling of all these fragrances, and it smelled really good. I can't really even describe what it was. It was just a menagerie of different little fragrances. But then as you visit, you know, each booth and each vendor, then you get to really, you know, sample what kind of, you know, trendy fragrances and what are all the hot new things in that world coming up right now. And what I really found, what really struck me to be like the biggest trend in fragrance is what I sort of call functional fragrance. And this is because at ISPA, you know, there are a lot. I mean, let's just be honest. There's loads of candle companies. There's lots of, you know, reed diffusers out there. You can't even walk into the gas station hardly without some, you know, some reed diffusers or those little things you hang in your car. The fragrance is all over the place out there. But what I think what's really lacking is high quality fragrance. It's there, but you just have to really find it and sift through all the options. And of course at ISPA, they had the creme de la creme, the actual best fragrance companies. You know, they're using pure essential oils, they're using organic ingredients, they're safe for you to use in your home, and they create an incredible experience when you go to a spa. And what was really striking is that I love how the industry is creating, not only are they sort of refining the fragrances that they offer, so there's not like a million fragrances to choose from, but each company focuses kind of like on a certain kind of fragrance or a theme. And the really fun, functional part is that they're creating all these little devices and cool, fun little products that you can use to incorporate fragrance into, like when you're traveling, when you're doing your skincare routine, even when you're hanging out in the garden. It's just, you know, and it's just like the tiniest little spots, like your handbag. Like when you open up your handbag, I've always, for ages, I don't know, my mom used to always do this. I would like spray perfume on a little like cotton square and wrap it in cheesecloth and stick it in my purse. And then I would refresh that. So I've always been doing that, just kind of on my crazy own, one of my crazy ideas. And now there are actually companies out there that are making fragrance, it's not a decanter, but fragrance items for your handbag, or you could put it in your suitcase. So I really can't wait to share all these with you guys, and we have some interviews with some of the creators. But first, I really want to share with you guys something what's happening in my spa life around here. I sort of call this segment Keeping It Spa Real, because, as much as I love spa and try to live spa every day, life happens. Things happen. It keeps you from, enjoying a little bit of relaxation, even puts you in situations that, can be detrimental to your health, even if it's the goal is eventually to help yourself. And something that's happening with me, and this is why I'm in Ohio, is I am rehabbing an old house. And this is actually my house that I lived in before I moved to California to pursue my spa dreams. And I didn't intend to leave it so long, but it was just one of those things. We went to California, and then the work kept coming and opportunities kept coming up, and it just didn't, and it's sunny. I mean, let's be honest. It's really gorgeous weather. It makes it kind of like, I didn't really feel like I needed to come back here. So what happened is that my house ended up getting left for like 2.5 years. And we had people checking on it and things like that. But unfortunately, there was a water pipe burst last year. And we noticed that because we got this water bill, and it was crazy expensive when no one was living in the house. And, it just created a disaster. We had someone go in and, they had to take all the carpets out and try to dry the house out. And in doing that, they had to pull all of my belongings and things like from out, and I'm so organized. Like I had everything in its place, and now stuff is just everywhere. It's like the closets just threw up in the middle of the room. It's awful, and you guys will actually have a chance to see that, because part of why I'm rehabbing the house is we're doing it in spa style. And we're doing a little web series on this, and there's video I've shot. Even though I'm so embarrassed, I shot some images for you guys so you can see just what a disaster it's in. And more about that later, but back to how I'm trying to spa. You would think now this is just like an awful situation, right? I mean, the house was moldy and musty and dusty and dirty and blah, gross, just gross. And, and my first thing is like, oh, I've got to do something, just anything to make me feel a little bit happier or a little bit better while I'm in all of this. I've got like my face mask on and my goggles, to protect myself from breathing in, anything. Fortunately, we've gotten most of the mold out of it, and it's all dried out, but it's still, a lot of dust and things that you just don't want to breathe in. And the one thing that was one of the things I should say, and of course when I lived there, I did live spa in the house, and something that I always had is I have, reed diffusers in every room. I had candles that I would burn, just at certain times, and unbelievably, y'all, the reed diffusers, they were starting to smell kind of rancid, I'll have to admit, and I dumped all those babies out right away. But the candles, I buy like really, I spend probably too much on a candle, but I buy a higher end candle because I feel like, I like the pure ingredients. It doesn't smell so kind of fakey to me. And it's just nice. One of the first things that anybody says to me when they walk into my house is that it smells so good in here. And I'm always like, that makes me feel so happy because, and I sort of forget about it because I live in it and I'm used to coming home to it. So when somebody else, a guest comes over and says that just makes me so pleased, because the fact that they even felt like they had to comment on it, just means a lot. It meant that it made an impression on them. And so anyway, so candles. So I had this, their Comptoir Sud, which is a perfume company, French perfume company. I had these really yummy, they're called Apricot Vanille, and that's apricot vanilla candles. And so I just thought, I'll just see if this thing still burns, and maybe just at least have something pleasant while I'm trying to get this house decluttered and back into some kind of a livable condition so that we can start rehabbing it. And sure enough, I dusted it off first. You definitely want to do this. If you have a candle that sat around for a while, just dust off the top part, and trim the wick, if there's room, trim the wick just to keep, kind of freshen it up, because you don't know like what could be sitting on the top of it, and you don't really want that burning off into the air. And I lit this Comptoir Sud candle, and right away it just smelled just like home, just like I'd always remembered it smelling when I lived there. And so even that just goes to show you, even fragrance can even help a really crappy, let's just face it, situation can help it, be a little more enjoyable. And I don't know if you guys use fragrance in your home or at all, but if you do, be sure, email me, spawithcandy@spabrunch.com. I'd love to know what some of your favorite candles, or if you use reed diffusers, what are some of your faves? And you can always call and leave us a message too on our spa hotline, which is 650-687-7288. And I hope to hear from you. But back to our fragrance episode from ISPA. And it was so much more than candles. Actually, I think candles were probably in the minority of fragrance products. So there's a trend for you right there. And I feel like that's a really good thing, because sometimes, have you ever had that feeling when you leave the house and you're like, oh my God, did I forget to blow the candle out? I've literally driven down the street and turned around and gone back home just to be sure that I blew the candle out when I'm using a candle. But candles aside, let's talk about some of the things that I saw at the ISPA conference, some of the kind of fragrance and fun aromatherapy things that I think you're going to just love. And a lot of these are going to be in our Spa Brunch holiday guide, so you're going to want to be sure to register for the Bliss List on spabrunch.com to get notified when that's published, or you'll get a copy. It will just be delivered to your email for free. And so the very first thing that I want to tell you about was actually something that's unfragranced, no fragrance at all, but it's a super cool tool that you can use with any kind of fragrance. It's in the bath and shower, and it's a skincare device. It's by Supracor. That's spelled Supracor. And they're like exfoliation mitts. And I know you're thinking there's a bazillion exfoliation mitts and gloves and, scrubbies out there. But this is truly unique. And this is something that I personally use and have used before I found it at the show. At the show, they've introduced a souped up version of the Stimulite body care and skincare products. They have two sides. So one side is a little softer. it's so soft that you can even use it around your eye area. There's not really a lot of things that are safe to use around your eye area, but you can even use their face exfoliation mitt, the soft side around your eye area. And really, the best way to describe this is it's made of they call it honeycomb technology. And it's a material that actually was used in things like aircraft and used in amusement park rides, in the bumpers to absorb shock. And it's because it seriously looks like, if you think of a beehive and the honeycomb, that's what it looks like. It's that little cell shape, but it's made of, instead of that coarser, what a beehive is, it's a pliable, and it's not plastic, but it's a pliable material. Uber soft, and it's antibacterial. The thing is, these things, they'll last you forever. And they have all kinds of different really cool products made out of this. They're really expanding, and I'm so excited. They even gave us some to try, so I'll be showing you some video samples of that when I'm in the tub using my scrubber. But they even have flip-flops, they have yoga mats, and you know how I'm always looking for the perfect yoga mat. And what's great is this is a really cool carrier for fragrance. So you can put on, whatever your favorite body wash is, or, if you're using a shower oil, it's awesome. You can just put it right on the surface and then just scrub it on your body. And it doesn't absorb it. Because, sometimes a lot of those scrubbies and sponges, it absorbs part of your product. This doesn't. It just sort of carries it in the little honeycomb cells. And you get a really great treat that smells, you can customize it to whatever you want. And something else that I like to do with mine is you can keep it in the freezer if you want. So, when it's really hot out in the summer, it's a little cool, just adds a little bit of something extra, and it won't freeze. It'll just be cool. And in the winter, before you use it, you might want to, run it under some hot water and then start scrubbing. And I'm going to be having, all of the links are going to be on spabrunch.com for these products and our show notes. So, don't worry about having to write things down or take notes at the moment. But that is Stimulite by Supracore. And you can always go on their website, supracore.com, and check out some of their products. But I think that is one of the best gifts that you can find in that kind of category. And it's definitely not just like, the presentation even looks gorgeous. It's in beautiful packaging, and they have all kinds of pretty colors to match your bathroom and match your linens, if you're kind of crazy like me doing stuff like that. And kind of in line with that, if you really love the idea of having more of a spongy kind of thing that absorbs, that's what's great about all these things, right? There's something for everybody's taste, men and women alike. There's a company called Spongel, and they have the sponges with the products infused in them. And one of my favorite things, so they have the body scrubbers and the body wash mitts, but it actually has their body wash inside, and they last you for about 20 washes. But the one thing that I thought was really, really cool that they had is they have it's called the Petit Lover, which is, basically the foot scrubber. And it's a sponge, and it's extra rough, so it's great for, getting rid of those nasty cracked heels and things that kind of plague you, especially in the winter, being in the heat, it dries out your skin. And it has what's infused in it is arnica, sea kelp, and peppermint. So it makes your feet really tingly, and those are also really great softening ingredients as well. They're pure oil extracts in there, so they're really going to be effective. And another body care line, and I shouldn't say body care, but more skincare that uses fragrance, was by this company called Mosaic. And they have a great line of candles and reed diffusers, home fragrance, but they had this really neat skincare product, and I got to talk to the founder of the company about it, and here's what he had to say. Hey y'all, it's Candy. We're at the International Spa Association show, and I am checking out this really beautiful, glamorous new body care line, and it's called Mosaic, and I'm here with Blake, and he's the founder. He's going to, Blake, so Blake, tell me about this incredible products. They're so beautiful.
Well, Mosaic really originated from the fact that we wanted to make the nicest quality product that we possibly could. It originally started with our candle line, but then we expanded that into all this new personal care product. Okay. So we do our hand cream, our body custard, sugar scrub, body polish, a hand lotion, a hand soap, and a bubble bath.
And you were telling me about, this is a really cool, the custard. It actually has collagen in it.
Yeah, the custard is a very, very unique product. It's a collagen base. We also add vitamins A, C, D, and E in it. So really the end result is it's a new way to get moisture rather than just a lotion or a hand cream. It applies extremely soft and silky smooth, but definitely very unique.
So definitely really effective body treatment, which sometimes kind of hard to find those kind of ingredients in a body. You always see it in facial things, but not body. And then it's all mainly it's organic, and your candles are the soy.
Yep, all of our candles are soy-based. We use essential oils in every product that we make. Everything that we do is either poured by hand or mixed by hand, but we do everything in very small batches as well, usually anywhere from 25 to 35 products at a time.
Wow, so that's really special. They make a really beautiful gift too. The packaging is so gorgeous, and the candles and the reed diffusers, they all have a very crystal, beautiful look to them. And there were two companies that really stood out to me that had one focused more on the home fragrance. And kind of interesting, their signature is called Baronessa Cali. And their signature fragrance it's all about, it's about Italy. It's all inspired about, from Italy. And so definitely orange. Orange is one of these things that I kept running across during the whole ISPA show. So if there's any one fragrance that's trending right now, other than Holladay fragrances, I would say orange. But anyway, I got to talk to one of the owners of the company, and here's what he said about the origins of the line. So way to go. So, hey y'all, it's Candy. I'm here at the ISPA Expo with Eric from Baronessa Cali, and they have the most amazing home fragrances, and it's a really cool concept. Tell us how you came up with this.
So this is called Sense of Sicily. So what we did is we took 12 cities in Sicily, for example, Basiluzzo, Palermo, Siracusa, and in each of the cities we put a signature fragrance behind them. And then in each one of the fragrances we made it as an all-white story or an all-black, so our packaging can be whatever fits into your house. You could buy the black version, the white version, checkerboard it, whatever you're interested in. There's perfumes and diffusers, candles, lotions, washes, travel tins in all 12 of the fragrances.
Excellent. And if you can't find, if we can't find your product in a spa, can we go online and find it?
You go to calicosmetics.com, and if you use the coupon code 10CALI, you will receive a 10% discount on any of your purchases.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And another fragrance line that really stood out to me was called Dosage. That sounds so elegant and mysterious. I just love the whole name. It's called DOSSAGE, Dosage. Of course, the link's going to be on the show notes. And Tara, the creator, she is just the neatest, most fireball woman, and she had this incredible, fun idea. And this has got to be one of the ultimate hostess gifts, I think, for the holidays, is a his and her fragrance. I know that sounds kind of weird. It's not like one fragrance that's unisex. It is two separate fragrances, but they work together. So there's one bottle for her, one bottle for him, and then so you each have your own fragrance, but then when you get together, kind of like when you get together as a couple, it creates your own unique couple's fragrance. I think that is just, and it comes in this really beautiful gift box, smells really yum, and so that's going to have to be a must on your gift list for all the hosts and hostesses this season. And if you're not into candles, there was a company from Ireland called Petalwell. Just love the name of that company. I think that's so fun. Petalwell, just beautiful and elegant. And they have 6 different aromatherapy oils for all different purposes. And what's really unique about them, the fragrances are all really wonderful and subtle, but yet enough that you're going to really feel the difference. They have these really chic diffusers. I don't say dispenser, it's a diffuser, and it's like a very small, very discreet, and it almost looks like a little piece of art. It's all designed with it looks like a speaker, almost like a little small speaker, size of the palm of your hand, and then it has all this scrolling on the front of it. It really looks like a little piece of art. So as you know how sometimes, reed diffuser bottles and things tend to be, they can be kind of big, and you don't want to put them down low because you don't want your pets or your kids to get into them. And, you don't want to make it the focal point in your room, really. You want people to smell it, not see it. And this really fits that, kind of cures that little problem there with them. And also what was really fun that they had these little scarves, and they were made of, it was almost like a burlappy kind of weave, and they just fit around your neck. It was like one of those elliptical scarves without an end. And then they come with the fragrance of your choice. You put that on the scarf, and you can wear that when you're flying or when you're walking down the street, or because sometimes when you wear a personal fragrance, you start to not be able to smell it. And if you're in a situation where you're trying to use fragrance to just kind of escape or calm down, this is perfect because on the plane, I like to sometimes spray my face with a fragranced water. But you're sitting next to all these people and you don't want to spray them because they'll get all mad. And so this is the perfect solution. You just pop out the scarf. You can have a few drops. And the really important thing is here, don't try this on your scarves at home. Because if you do, especially if you have a silk scarf or something, those oils, they're going to stain it. They could even possibly, weaken and eat through the fabric. You definitely want to use the scarf that they give you. And that's from Petal Well. And finally, probably one of the most innovative fragrance companies that I saw there was called Aromaflora. And Aromaflora is a fragrance line whose main purpose is to repel insects. But they do it in the most glamorous and gorgeous way, and it actually smells good, as opposed to something like DEET or like citronella candles. Those kind of things, they're not really a fun experience. I mean, they definitely keep you from getting bitten, but they also can repel other people from wanting to be around you, in my experience. And they're just not pleasant to use. I mean, you're outside, you want to be having fun. You don't want to have this fragrance of chemicals all over you. And not only, and it's really that I got to talk with one of the founders, and she told me her story, which was she and her husband went on a vacation in the tropics and were getting eaten alive by insects. They asked the locals what they used, and they gave them this recipe for all these different fragrances that that made the insects leave them alone. And Aromaflage, not only serves a purpose, it smells really good and it's beautiful to use. The bottles are gorgeous, very elegant. And, when you're out on holiday, it just makes it feel a little more, a little more spa-like, right? So if you know someone who's going on a vacation or a trip, this could be a really good gift idea for them for the holidays. And again, that fragrance is called Aromaflage. I also have a video interview with one of the founders, which we're going to have on our Spa Brunch YouTube channel. Be sure to go over there and subscribe if you want to have the latest updates. We're going to have some more of our fragrance discoveries from my spa as well. And coming up later in the week, we have our Four Seasons Las Vegas virtual spa escape. And with that, I want to wish you a very spa-filled week from all of us here at Spa Brunch. And I want to remind you to take some time to unwind and care for yourself. It's the best thing you can do for not just you, but everyone else in your life. And isn't that what spa is all about? We'll see you next time. Bye.
Continue the chill. Get on the brunch bliss list at www.spabrunch.com or contact Candy at sparwithcandy@spabrunch.com. Keep tuning in for contests. You may get to spa